I love the new God of War game. The combat, the story, and the puzzles are all perfectly combined into a very enjoyable experience. The only thing I don't like about the gameplay itself is an insane amount of invisible walls that are breaking immersion. And some are in places like interactive cutscenes where they simply prevent you from walking forward so you're at the right angle to view something. And I think in a case like that, they probably should have left those cutscenes to be non-interactive. Because if you can move left and right but you can't walk a step forward, because there's an invisible wall blocking you from going forward, that's kind of really a bad design. But this is not a review of God of War Ragnarok. There are many of those on YouTube already. This is a UI analysis of the game. And I'll be honest, I have a couple of issues with God of War Ragnarok's user interface. The overall structure is clear and it is pretty easy to understand, but it could have been done better. And let's explore this in a little bit more detail.
I'm sure we'll find lots to talk about.
I have two main issues with the God of War Ragnarok UI, and the first one is all about the main menu. One thing is that the icons next to the menu items only partially fit the lore of the game, and some of them, like the quit game icon, actually look like a very generic material design icon. They don't really fit the style, and also they're a lot too big. Another thing is that the options title is completely misaligned at the top here. It's a little bit more towards the top and it's not aligned to this little indicator that's telling you to use the D-pad to navigate the menu. Now, I'm not gonna play around with changing and redrawing the icons, but just making them a little bit smaller and aligning the top would go a long way. Take a look. As you can see, my version is a lot better aligned and it looks a lot cleaner than the original. Let me know in the comments what you think. And now let's look at the other issue.
There he is.
And here we are in one of the menus, so let's go through the issues one by one. Right at the top, once again, the title is pretty weirdly placed with some random spacing from the left side. Basically, it doesn't look like a header, it just looks like it's floating in space. Now this next one is a pretty big problem because the subheading, in this case camera, is just as close to the previous section as it is to the things that are within that section. It's just as close to reduced flashing as it is to invert vertical control. And for hierarchy, it always should be closer to the elements that belong to it. And once again, different top and bottom spacing on this little bar at the bottom of the screen here. The text in the selected item is a little bit too low. It's not centered vertically inside the container. So this is how it looks before my little changes and tweaks, and this is how it looks after them. It's a lot cleaner and clearer to understand what things belong to which section and understand the proper hierarchy of things. Let's take a look at it again. This is before and this is after. Let me know if you think my version is better in the comments down below. Have you played the game? Let me know what you think of the UI, and as always, have a beautiful day. Cheers!